Hello. Welcome back to cryptomentals.com. Today we're going to talk about BTCS. And BTCS is a stock, but it's a crypto stock. So they're a digital assets company that trades on the Nasdaq. And the company's name is BTCS and the ticker is BTCS. That's a great ticker, by the way, so +1 on that. And yeah, we're going to jump into the price action first and then cover some of the fundamentals that make this interesting. But if you're trying to get, if you're a person that's interested in getting crypto exposure in the stock market, maybe through like your retirement account or something, I think this is one to put on the watch list because it does have a lot of potential. Let's look at the price action first. I'm going to just zoom way out here. This is a weekly chart and it goes back to 2016. Most of this price action back here, the stock itself was on the OTC market, and it was actually right before this big pump that it got listed on Nasdaq. So the Nasdaq listing actually triggered this ripper. Huge move here. And I have been tracking this stock since way back in this area when I first bought it. But hopefully you can see the key takeaway here on this zoomed out chart is now it's worked its way all the way back down to the bottom, and it's put in this like narrow sideways channel here going on like over a year and a half of this basically sideways action at the bottom of the range. So that's a key point of interest one. I mean, I definitely, with whether it's crypto or stocks, I like to buy things that are bottoming out here and have lots of upside. So the old high here is $32 and it's sitting at $1.23 right now. To be fair, it did reverse split. It was a 1-for-10 split back in this area. So that does affect the actual range here. And I don't think you can just really count on this $32 being retested for sure down the road, but it is possible. But even if we just used a more conservative, like half that and thought about like $15 as a target, then, $1.25 up to 15 sounds pretty good to me. So the upside's clearly there. So takeaway one from this zoomed out chart is it's bottoming out and has a lot of upside. Zooming in a little bit, because I don't think, like, it's sort of following the altcoin market right now, to be honest. It looks a lot like an altcoin does. Not a huge surprise. This thing will track with crypto and to be honest, could easily outperform Bitcoin and might turn out to outperform a lot of altcoins too, because it does have it has 10x potential for sure, but I would say 10x plus. It could easily go a lot higher once you see the market cap and stuff here in a minute. But sticking with price action, zoomed in here a little bit, you can see it looks a little, if anything, it looks a little M-ish. There's no W's here to suggest the bottom's in. It looks like it's kind of M'ing out and wants to hunt lower. So I think even lower prices are in our future, but maybe you can at least see there is a double bottom working. It basically came all the way down against, the old range back here, the old double bottom. It's worked its way all the way back down against that. But now there is like an actual double bottom working. It's very wide and tall, but it barely just confirmed that double bottom as it broke to new high there and then it's pulled back. So I think there's somewhat of a chance that these lows here will hold, and that's like a 60-cent low, 65 cents. I think there's a reasonable chance that they will hold. Of course, it is always possible it could grind lower, and there's no bottom in place or showing yet. And so I just have the Fibonacci range, drawn out here. The deep C, I got 78.6 to 88.6 here is basically $1 down to 80 cents. And I've labeled that nice trade location. And I do think that's fair. Like, it's very likely we'll hit that. But I also think down the road, you'll probably see, if these lows are going to hold, you'll see a W somewhere around here. And of course, waiting for that bottom is going to be the most, the strongest confirmation. And I wouldn't be surprised if it comes in down here. So I'm kind of hunting this dollar or lower area really as a place to want to get long. And that's, so trade location's $1 and below is a good location. And it looks pretty heavy here, even put in M's. Probably going to dump down in there. When you get into momentum confirmation here too is showing the same. It's just trending down here on RSI. It's M'ing out, even making a new low in RSI right now. And not anywhere near oversold. So there's still a lot of room for RSI to fall into oversold. And really we need to see a W in RSI to suggest this is getting ready to turn. And the same thing in OBV, just emming out, trending down. So by no means am I saying this is bottomed right here. I think it's just like getting ready for a bottom. and trying to buy that somewhere down in here. And it's really that simple. I'm just going to let price come down into that area and let these indicators turn and let a W come in, and I'll know there's a reasonable chance that bottom's in at that point. Maybe it grinds lower and I'll just adjust my plan at that point, until I see a W basically in price. But hopefully you can at least see just, it's sitting at $1.23 right here. I don't think $1.23 is worth buying here. There's no rush. But say you buy it for $1, hopefully you can at least see, if you're getting along at $1, hopefully you can see that a bounce up to 2 is just a retest of these highs here. So like, the way I'm going to play this is just, try to buy it at $1, sell half my position at $2 here on a double, which is a test of these highs here, and get a free position in this, and then just sit back and wait for the broader crypto market to go into an epic bull run, hopefully next year, and then hopefully sell the rest of the position much higher down the road. So try to get into a free trade there, and I think that's super reasonable. From $1 up to $2, it's not going to take a lot of, just if crypto can get its act together at all here. And, we'll probably see altcoins bottoming about the same time as this thing. That seems like a pretty easy move up to $2 there. So, but let's talk about the fundamentals here for a bit, because this is cool stock in a lot of ways. And I think it's a little bit of a hidden gem because there's not a lot of people talking about it. In fact, this YouTube video will probably get very few views because nobody's searching for BTCS right now. But funny thing about trading is you got to kind of, if you want to take advantage of these big moves, you got to get in early when nobody's thinking about them. And I think this one's setting up perfect. But looking at FinViz here and looking at BTCS on FinViz, just want to point out a couple things that I consider to be good signs for buying these kind of stocks and looking for the kind of moves I was just talking about. First off is just 44% insider owned. That's a great number. That means 44% of the insiders own 44% of the company. My gut is they're probably not going to, these are crypto people, remember, that own this company, I'm assuming. And they're probably expecting the same kind of bull run I'm expecting in 2025. I doubt they're going to be, selling the bottom here. So I think 44% of the shares are probably bag holding here and looking for higher prices. So I don't know. I don't think the insiders are going to sell here. Seems unlikely. And they own 44% of the company, so they're vested here. That's a good sign. Next good sign is the price to cash right here, and price to book for that matter. But talking about price to cash here of 0.48, that's a great number for, basically what this means here is you can see here $2.51 cash per share. So this company's worth $2.50 in cash per share, but the share price is only $1.23. So it's trading at it's trading at half of the cash they have. So just the cash value of this company is worth twice the share price right now. That's a really good sign. And top that off, the fact they have zero debt here. So they've got a bunch of cash and no debt. And they own 44% of the company. That's a pretty good sign, gotta say. That's exactly what you want to see if you're trying to buy like value. You're trying to buy something that's, worth, we're trying to buy something at a discount. This looks like a discount to me, right? As it comes down to $1 and this company's worth $2.50 per share. That's way up here already, $2.50 is up against that high. So if you can buy this at $1, geez, this seems like a pretty damn good, cheap deal. Moving on, the key is, does crypto go into a bull run? That'll drag this up with it. And then 2, can this company succeed? 2, they're not really making money right now. Well, at least they're not projecting to make money, but they do have price earnings of 0.99. But their EPS this year is minus 10%, so they're losing a little bit of money. That's also not the best time in crypto. And one of their main revenue sources is just running validators. So I do like that. Talk about that stuff for a second here too. I'll just wrap up these numbers here with just great screener for like a value name. The numbers look really good for that. And moving on to sort of more what they do real quick. They have 3 basic projects going: this Builder Plus, Chain Queue, and Stake Seeker. And so they're they're doing some MEV stuff, and then they also have this AI analytics on-chain data thing they're building. So it's going to be like a resource for searching on-chain data. And then they have the Stake Seeker, which is like a non-custodial staking platform where you can go on and stake your coins, but you're holding custody to them. So they're basically running validators for that. And so then they also, it's not on here, but they earn, well, I'm sorry, it is right here. They operate a bunch of validators off a bunch of different networks. So the cool thing about this is you kind of, if you're buying this stock, you're technically you're buying exposure to the staking rewards of all these networks. That might not be the necessarily most profitable thing ever, but it's interesting to see a private or a publicly traded company here that actually is just basically staking for revenue. And so if you're buying their stock, you're sort of getting exposure to all these names. And that's interesting to me. Especially again, like this is a great stock to throw into your retirement account. And if you get that free position I was just talking about, and then just leave it in your retirement account over the long term, if this company, keeps at it, it could be worth quite a lot higher down the road. Because actually, I forgot to mention, really, the market cap's only 19 million. This is like a micro cap in the stock market right now. It's only 19 million market cap. So if this thing, even a 10xer is only 200 million, it could easily grow a lot more than that if this company works down the road. So that's a really good sign too. And anyway, I'll leave it at that. This is kind of interesting. This is one area of their business is revenue generating, is just the staking rewards off running all these validators, and then you can use their platform to stake on all these validators, is what I'm assuming here. So cool. That's what they do. And then I'll leave the best for last here as I wind this up. And one other interesting plus that I like to see here is, and geez, I hope I can find it. Now I've probably lost it here. Let's see. Let me find, it must be in corporate governance. That's where it is. So these are the team. This is the team here, and that's cool. But what I think is really cool is, right here, board of directors. Look who's on the board of directors, Mr. Charlie Lee here. And he's been on here ever since I first started tracking this stock. So this is Satoshi Light, and creator of Litecoin, Charlie Lee, epic crypto legend. And he sits on the board here. And I think that's a huge plus in itself. So that's another plus one for the BTCS here. Just the fact that Charlie Lee's involved piques my interest for sure. And he's been involved for a while. But then hilariously, this person, Melanie Pump, they don't bring a person called Melanie Pump on the board unless they're going to pump this thing. So it just seems like a no-brainer from that respect. And she also is the CFO of Polymath. So so she's crypto OG too. And I don't know these other people, but seeing Satoshi Light on here, it's a cool sign. And he probably owns a huge chunk of those 44%, I'm guessing, of the company. And he's probably going to sell the top perfectly like he's been known to do in the past. And that'll be, not now. I'm guessing he's going to probably wait until the epic pump that Melanie's going to bring. So leave it at that, man. BTCS, I do think this is a damn interesting stock. It just hasn't quite bottomed yet. And I'm planning on re-upping my position anyway, and it's getting into interesting levels. So let's just wait patiently, watch it come down to that $1 or so, and then see if it can W there. Maybe it has to grind lower first, but waiting for W's is always best. There's no rush with these, especially considering the whole broader picture of the next several months. Probably gonna be choppy. It's gonna be altcoins trying to find their bottoms as we head into the election, and then I think probably by next year we can probably have a real bottom working and maybe go into the ripper. But keep this one on your watch list. And until next time, I will catch you on the next one. See you later. Bye-bye.